Welcome to your new theme, which is animals. We are going to be looking at animals over the next few weeks, so you can watch this video over and over as many times as you want to learn all about animals. So we're going to start off by learning what a zoologist does, and a zoologist is an animal scientist. They are people who specialize in the study of animals, and they research animals to learn more about how they live and how the disease affects their bodies, how they grow and how they adapt to their surroundings or their habitats. So we're going to look at lots of different facts and information, and you're going to learn a lot of new things. When zoologists started learning about animals, they could see that there were many kinds of animals, and that they all looked different from one another and had different characteristics. So they split the animals up into two main groups. The first group are called invertebrates, and these are animals that do not have a spine or a backbone. These can be animals such as crabs, jellyfish, earthworms, leeches, snails, squid, and insects and lobsters. There are many types in this group. The other group are called vertebrates, and these are animals that have a spine or a backbone, like we do, running down their backs. These are split into 5 groups, and they are called mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fish. We are going to look at each group carefully now to see what they look like. So here we have a picture of many different kinds of invertebrates. Remember, these are animals that do not have a backbone. Invertebrates are more than 90% of all living animal species. They can be as diverse as sea stars, sea urchins, spiders, clams, and squid. Invertebrates serve as food for humans and are key elements in food chains that support birds, fish, and other animals that do have a backbone. Can you see all of them? Look carefully and look at how each one is different. Now you can see the picture of vertebrates. These are animals that do have a backbone. When you think about vertebrates, think about bones. This word has to do with animals that have a lot of bones in the form of a skeleton. It especially refers to animals with a backbone, which protects their spinal cord. Vertebrates have many bones, including a skull, which protects their brains, which tends to be large. People, dogs, horses, lizards, dogs, cats, and many other animals are in this category. Let us go through these words again. Amphibians, mammals, fish, reptiles, and birds. You are going to learn each group of these in more detail. Firstly, we're going to look at the group known as fish. They are cold-blooded animals. This means their body temperature varies with that of the environment. They can breathe through gills, and you may see their gills on the sides of their bodies. The gills take away oxygen from the water around them. They are covered in scales. They are also covered in an extra layer of slime, which helps them to move through the water. They lay eggs, and they use their fins to move and steer. Often they have a fin on the top and on the side and on the back. There are over 30,000 known species of fish, but over 1,000 of these are threatened by extinction. This means that if we don't look after them, we may soon not have them anymore. A fish has relatively a small brain compared to most other animals, and they are very good at camouflaging themselves or hiding themselves on the ocean floor. And although jellyfish and crayfish have the word fish in their name, they aren't actually fish. They are invertebrates because they do not have a backbone. Now we are going to look at the group of animals known as amphibians. Amphibians can live in water and on land. They are small vertebrates that need water or a moist environment to survive. This is a group that we know as frogs, toads, salamanders, and newts. All can breathe and absorb water through their very thin skin. Like reptiles, amphibians are also cold-blooded. Because of their special skin, they require very specific living conditions. Too much sun can damage their cells. Too much wind can dry their skin and dehydrate them. As a result, amphibians are the first to die off when their habitats are disturbed or contaminated, like weed killers. This is the main reason over half of all frog species are in danger of extinction. They can breathe with lungs or through their skin. They can lay eggs. Here we have the group of animals known as reptiles. Reptiles are air-breathing vertebrates covered in special skin made up of scales, bony plates, or a combination of both. They include crocodiles, snakes, lizards, turtles, and tortoises. All regularly shed the outer layer of their skin. Their metabolism depends on the temperature of their environment. Unlike birds and mammals, reptiles do not maintain a constant internal body temperature. Without fur or feathers for insulation, they cannot stay warm on a cold day. And without sweat glands or the ability to pant, they cannot cool off on a hot day. Instead, they move into the sun or into the shade as they need. During cooler parts of the year, they become inactive. This is why they are cold-blooded. They lay eggs. This word means oviparous. Can you remember ever seeing a crocodile lying in the sun with its mouth wide open? This is because it's trying to get warm. Birds belong to a group of animals known as warm-blooded animals. They try to keep their insides of their bodies at a constant temperature. They do this by generating their own heat when they are in a cooler environment and by cooling themselves down when they are in a hotter environment. To generate heat, warm-blooded animals convert the food that they eat into energy. Birds are vertebrate animals adapted for flight. Many can also run, jump, swim, and dive. Some, like penguins, have lost the ability to fly. Birds are found worldwide and in all habitats. The largest is the 9-foot-tall ostrich, and the smallest is the 2-inch-long hummingbird. The bones and muscles of the wing are highly specialized. Birds have a unique digestive system that allows them to eat when they can, usually even when they are flying. They use their beaks to grab and swallow food. Birds lay eggs and are covered in beautiful, brightly colored feathers. Did you know that we belong to the group known as mammals? Mammals are warm-blooded animals with hair, and we also have a backbone or spine. Unlike other classes of animals, female mammals produce milk to nourish their young. Almost all mammals give birth to live young babies. Scientists have identified more than 5,400 mammal species on Earth, roughly 1/5 of which are known to be threatened or extinct. Mammals are among the most adaptable animals on the planet. They are found on every continent and in every ocean, and range in size from a tiny bumblebee bat to enormous blue whales. One reason for their success is the way they move. Mammals as a group use every possible form of movement. We can walk, run, jump, climb, hop, swing, dig, and burrow. And aquatic ones swim, shuffle, and dive. A few can even fly. Mammal bones, especially the skull, are used for identification and to work out the history of each species. The ear bones of mammals were once the jaws of a prehistoric reptile. Despite all these differences, animals share 4 traits that are shown with hair, mammary glands, a hinged jaw, and 3 tiny middle ear bones. All animals and plants need a place to live. Most choose or are born into particular habitats. Habitats are places in nature that provide food, protection from predators and unfavorable weather, and a home in which to raise their young. Habitats are characterized most often by climate and location. They can range from warm, moist areas near the equator, such as the Amazon rainforest, or to cold polar areas such as the Arctic. The animals and plants that live in a particular habitat have adapted to allow them to survive there. For example, a spider monkey, which live in the trees of some tropical forests, have flexible tails that allow them to grasp and balance along branches. A cactus that grows in the desert has spines that help collect and retain moisture. Some animals build homes in their habitat. Beavers use wood and mud to construct lodges. Some toads dig burrows. Other animals don't have to do such work. They find their homes in natural places, such as caves and trees. Over the last few slides, you have heard me use the word extinction. Humans can cause extinction of a species through overharvesting, pollution, habitat destruction, introduction of invasive species, overhunting, and other influences. Extinction means that the species has died out. Can you remember some animals that are no longer alive? Yes, dinosaurs are one. Many animals are becoming endangered, and if we do not look after those animals, then those too will become extinct. Let's all work together to help our animals stay alive. Have you ever seen this logo before of the panda? It is the World Wildlife Fund. It is the world's leading independent conservation organization, and they are very good at supporting animals and looking after them so that they're not endangered. They conserve nature. Why don't you Google them to see how you can help and to learn more about what they do? That is the end of our video now. I hope you've learnt a lot about animals, as you're going to be doing it over the next few weeks. Watch the video as many times as you want, and remember, there is so much information you can look through on the internet or books. Why don't you take some time to do some extra and find out about many facts about animals?